Hello and welcome to our round 6 preview thanks to Dabble. The season is well and truly starting to heat up now, and Pete Hawley and I are here to break it all down for you. Let's get into our Wednesday night Ignite Cup match with the Wildcats facing the Taipans. The last time these two teams met, Perth narrowly avoided a loss. This time the Taipans are at home. Does it help them, Halls?
Oh, it's going to be interesting. Both teams just battling a few injuries right now, which is okay this early on in the season. But yeah, it could be a revenge time for the Taipans in front of their home fans. They are desperate for a win. They've got enough offensive talent. I just feel like the Wildcats with JLA, I'm not sure the Taipans have an answer for that. I can understand why they're favourites, but I can also understand why it's pretty close.
Speaking of that revenge, after the last loss, Coach Adam Ford said that they were really frustrated with the loss. They felt that the game was gettable for them. Do you see that redemption mentality adding fuel to the fire?
I do. That's what Adam Ford does really well. He's going to get them juiced up for this understanding. They keep losing games. They've had some really, really bad losses. Let's come out and make sure that we give one back to the Wildcats and start to get our season back on track. Having said that, I do think Perth are slowly going to try and figure it out. They're coming off back-to-back almost 20-point losses as well. Whichever team's hungrier is going to win, and this will be a fun one.
Last week, the Wildcats let go of import Mason Jones. Do you think a week is enough time for them to adapt and make those necessary changes there?
I think what it does is give young guys like the coach's son, Jaron Riley, a chance to really shine. Ben Henschel needs to step up. They have no Dylan Windler, which is a massive out, which I think is why you're getting $1.80 for the Perth Wildcats. Everyone should be feeling good about themselves in terms of getting more opportunity, but this one's really a coin toss, and I think that's why it's going to be fun.
Let's head back to the East Coast now on Thursday, where the Kings will tackle the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Halls, we've seen a hot and cold Sydney these last few weeks. Do you trust them enough to back them?
I don't trust many teams outside of Melbourne United, so no, I don't trust them so much in this game, and more so because I trust Josh King's defensive mentality for the Phoenix. Kendrick Davis is balling. He is basically playing a lone hand for the Sydney Kings right now. I think Josh King's going to have some plans. Iwandu's going to get his debut game for the Phoenix, who's a really strong defender. He'll go to Kendrick Davis, and this one could go either way.
You've previously told me the Phoenix could be the dark horse this season. Do you still feel that way about them?
I do, just because in the NBL, I know fans are going to say it's boring, but if you defend at a high level, you have a chance to win a championship. They defend at a really, really high level, right beside Melbourne United. So I do give them a chance. They just need to figure out their offensive talent. Whereas the Kings have a whole lot of offensive talent. They're not firing right now, and defensively, they've got some question marks.
Heading into the weekend, the Perth Wildcats face the Illawarra Hawks, another two teams that have played each other before. Halls, how important would a win be for these defending champs?
Oh, I tell you what, I mean, Tyler Harvey said it best. This is the lowest point possible for them because they are not just losing, but they're getting spanked by basically everybody. JaVale McGee's thinking, what's going on? What am I doing coming to a league where I'm losing by 40 points to a Southeast Melbourne Phoenix team? I think they'll be fired up. There's a lot of outside noise. When you go back to when the Hawks have been struggling the last couple of years, it's when all the media, when all the fans are against them, they're writing them off, they put their backs against the wall when they come out swinging. I'm expecting to see that kind of hunger from the Hawks this week.
The last time these teams played each other, the Wildcats did get the win. How much emphasis do you put on that game, or do the Hawks take some handy learnings into this match?
I think they'll take a lot of handy learnings. I think McGee versus JLA, they'll be able to really negate each other because they're two outstanding big men in the league. I look at Tyler Harvey's going to have to step up. You understand why it's $2.50 from the Illawarra Hawks, who still have to get a couple of pieces back from injuries and a new import. But I can also understand why the Wildcats are heavy favourites. Looking at this though, if I had to pick, I think the hunger from the Hawks will be more desperate than what the Wildcats will dish up.
It is the match that everyone is excited for this weekend. Sunday Hoops brings us United taking on the Adelaide 36ers. Halls, is this the team to ruin United's perfect record?
Well, it's going to have to be, right? You look at the top two, the Adelaide 36ers are flying, just that one loss to the Sydney Kings. But I always think, what am I going to get from Melbourne United in terms of every team's going to have a blemish? They're going to have a speed bump. Who's it going to be? I'm actually not sure if it will be Adelaide. I think they'll be so geared up for this Adelaide game because everyone's saying it's 1v2, two championship contenders. I think Dean Vickerman's a mastermind, and I wouldn't be surprised if I end up blowing out Adelaide.
You can't talk about the Adelaide 36ers and not talk about Bryce Cotton. He was held to single digits once so far this season. 53 points his best. Can United shut Cotton down?
Well, they don't have Shea Ili, right, which is a big out for them. He normally goes to Bryce Cotton, and Bryce Cotton does not like that matchup. I think Bryce Cotton will still have a very good game, but he has to work really hard when Dean Vickerman coaches against him. I think he's a really great tactician in that area. I think DJ Vasiljevic, Isaac Humphries are going to have big games, but I really think that Melbourne United, with Chris Goulding back, who's 37 this week and not slowing down, I think they have way too many weapons. And I think the moment might just get to Adelaide, and I actually think everybody's waiting for this game. I think it'll be a blowout.
If Cotton does have a quiet night, do the 36ers have enough depth in them to still get a win?
Everybody's saying no right now, right? Everybody's saying it's Bryce Cotton or bust. I do think they have enough depth. Cheatham hasn't really got going offensively. Vasiljevic is really quiet right now. Humphreys has been one of the best big men in the competition. Flynn Cameron playing his former team, I think he'll be really aggressive. They have enough pieces. I just think Melbourne are going to get up for this like it's a championship game 5, and I think they win by 11 plus.
All right, you've called it. It's going to be a blowout. Thanks so much for joining us for our round 6 preview. It's going to be a very exciting weekend of hoops. I'm Steph Baumgartel. This is Pete Hooley. We'll see you same time, same place next week.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.